I'm just going to start by talking through what was some of the good work that I saw yesterday and some work that could slightly be improved. First of all, there's lots and lots and lots of positive things about this work here. I'm really happy with the steps and the way the steps stands out in this lovely box, and that's a very good idea. Draw arrow under the equals, use inverse operations, Going through all of those steps stands out really nicely, but what I would ask anyone to do, although this work is absolutely perfect, I'm very, very happy with how good it is, I would ask you not to actually answer it like this. Okay, I don't like having too much information on a page. You know, it's very, very busy here. So what we need to do is take up a number of pages writing these out. Okay, I don't want it being really, really full, really, really busy. It's too hard to keep up with what's going on. It's very hard for me to follow this and mark it. Okay, so please space your work out neatly. The next thing I want to show you, this is a waggle that I saw in one book. Doesn't matter whose it is, it's not an issue. It's actually, the question's actually answered very well. But if I show you what was done at the same task by another person, this is what was written for their waggle. Not only have they got all of the steps here, and they're describing exactly what to do, they have made the steps notes. That's not been made here. You needed to have those steps. It was really important. So why it's not been written in there, I'm not quite sure. This is what I'm expecting. When I say write this down in your book, I really do mean it. It's not a joke. You need to write that down in your book. Okay? So I'm looking to see that answer be improved there. So if that is your work, it's a good idea to pause this video and write these steps out here where this space is. Okay, the presentation in general, why is there felt tip pen there? That doesn't need to be there. Look after your work a bit better, please. Okay, and then finally, looking at the questions that we found hardest, this is the one that came up time and time again. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk through exactly what's going on. Now, the brackets don't actually need to be written there. So what I'm going to do to begin with is I'm going to remove those brackets just to make it slightly easier for us to do the writing here. So I'm going to have I've just said I'm not having the brackets, haven't I? I'm going to have 8x minus 17 is equal to 6x plus 5. Now, the rule that you need to remember, you are looking for the smallest x out of these two here. What is smaller, 8x or 6x? 6x is obviously smaller, so we are going to get rid of the 6x. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side. 8x take away 6x is 2x. Then, this minus 17 is still there. That's not been touched at all. X's deal with x's, numbers deal with numbers. You don't do anything that's 6x to 17. It remains exactly the same. It's still 17. That is then equal to. Okay, so then on this side here, I am going to have, what am I going to have? I'm getting rid of that 6x. I'm saying 6x take away 6x, and the answer to that is 0. So you need to just write nothing down there, but you still have this plus 5. So this plus 5, I'm just going to write as 5. The next thing I'm going to do now is start to get x on its own. And to get x on its own, I need to get rid of anything that is not physically attached to x. So that's this minus 17. So I'm going to add 17 to each side. So I get 2x is equal to 5 plus 17 is 22. And then finally, by here, I'm going to get rid of this 2 in front of the x. Now, 2 in front of the x means 2 times x. So I'm going to divide both sides by 2. That will give me the answer x is equal to 11. Okay? There's a question coming up now. I'd like you to pause the video and attempt that question. And I'll leave this on there so you can use my solution as a really good one to help you answer this question. Okay, so there's the question. Your teacher will now pause the video. You'll have a go at it, and then they'll give you the answer after. Okay, the other question that we are having a bit of difficulty with as well, that came up in what a hard question looked like, was this question here. Okay? Now, to do this, what you must do is you must expand the bracket. And yesterday, I said you want to think of the number outside the bracket. It has to multiply both the numbers on the inside of the bracket. So the best way to do that, to show that, is you draw an arrow underneath like that. Okay, so expanding that bracket gives me 18x and then minus 6. It's very important that that 6 multiplies both the 3x to get 18x, but the 6 also multiplies by the 1 to get 6, and then whatever the sign is there remains the same. You'd still have equals 30 by there, and now we're going to solve it as we did before. We are now going to take, or no we're not, we're going to get rid of the minus 6 on each side. We will add 6 to each side. So we get the answer 18x is equal to 36. We are then going to put another arrow down because x still isn't on its own, and we always divide by the number in front of the x. So we're dividing by 18. So dividing by 18, I've got no idea what the 18 times table is, but I'm going to count in 18. So I'm just going to keep on repeatedly adding 18 to itself. So 18, if I add 18 to itself, I get 16 there, 1, 2, 3, 36. So there's two lots of 18. So the answer is x equals 2. Please could you attempt this question that is about to appear? Okay, so here's the question that I want you to attempt now. Please pause the video and your teacher will tell you you have the right answer in a couple of minutes.